Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Season 2 qualifiers from the North American Challenger League. I always mix up some of those words, but I think I got it right this time. I am Reed Rapid Melton, joined once again by Dan Egad Caruso, and we are joining Team 8 and Crossover Esports in what could be the deciding game for one of these teams getting into NACL Season 2. With one game in the bank already, Team 8 are looking strong, but it's the best of three, so Crossover Esports has one more opportunity to bring it back.
And I don't expect to see Yasuo ever again. I don't think they're gonna let that through. Crossover Esports, like, okay, we can have Peek. I think Pekin was confident enough to deal with this one, so we'll give him the block to do it. And he actually did pretty well in lane, but still, the ultimates from California Trollos were on point, and then, just interrupting crucial pulls from Thresh and Yasuo following up with crit damage that he can do, and still just you can't deal with Yasuo. And there's the ban obviously coming in from Crossover. They don't want to try to get it themselves, so they'll just ban it away. Ziggs and Nidalee and Gragas are the four bans that I can currently see. I don't know about the rest, but you can inform us on those.
Yeah, you can see the Yasuo ban. Nobody saw that coming. It was just like, why are we? No, I'm just kidding. It was really, really strong. And after going down early on in lane, nice comebacks there by Maple Street, able to at least find him some kills, even if they were a little bit later on. But California Trolls Malphite was a big contender in that game. Not a champion I would have expected to see. He went. There's three builds out there for Malphite. There's AP Malphite, there's Trinity Force Malphite, and then you just build him full tank. And
Yeah.
AP Malphite worked out, but this time around a little bit more standard, just going for the straight up Renekton pick. Not all that surprising, but what is surprising is in the absence of Elise, which we also expected to see banned out, Elise in there for guess.
All right, so interesting enough, not going to go for Vi or anything like that. So sticks to the Lee Sin jungle. We can see a lot of hyper aggressive invades and ganks to come out from him, hopefully. And that Renekton up top for California Troll. It's going to be very interesting to see. And they do pick up Thresh again for Gonzi as he was doing okay. It's just they got outplayed on that aspect. So we'll see if he can play it better this time around. Shyvana gets picked up by Peking Wolf, and Yusoi is going to go for that Vi. So Crescendo's going to take Renekton. Not Renekton. He's going to take Shyvana versus Renekton up top, and we're just going to see the usual wet noodle slugfest up there. While it looks to me like From Maple Street is hovering over Rise, and I don't think he's going to go for that one, but we'll see when everything gets locked in.
You know, Maple Street actually did used to play a lot of Rise. He played Rise and Diana, two champions that you probably won't see in competitive play anymore. Both of them did have their day, though I feel like that might have passed a little bit farther away, because with champions like Cassidon, with like LeBlanc, a lot of very, very mobile mid laners, you really can't play anything like a Rise that just kind of walks around and snares people and does some damage now and then, especially with his shortened spell range. Top lane matchups are confirmed, so are the ones in the jungle. Still looking to see the 80 carry picks from Crossover, but with the 80 left up to Slushie this time, looks like he's going very, very aggressive with it.
I would have liked to see a Draven. I love Draven. And Annie paired up with Lucian is very annoying harassing. The auto attack's just going to keep coming in, especially if you pick Caitlyn or Vayne or anything like that. It'd just be so dangerous. We do see them hubbing around with Zac potentially for no one. I don't think that's going to come in. Ezreal for Tails, Jinx for Tails. I don't know. It's just flipping through on the screen right now. You have everything in front of you, but I can make a prediction. Probably Caitlyn again. Jinx is possible, but I'm gonna wait to see because I don't like speculating too much.
Yeah, the thing I expected to see from Tails was his Ezreal. He has some weird builds that he does on it, but with the Jinx in there, I'm like, okay, Jinx, Lucian, we've seen this matchup before, but why? My question is why Slushie went for Lucian, the Slucian, very, very early on, because, to be honest, Jinx is a little bit higher priority. Might just be comfort picks or the synergy there with Annie for burst damage, but at the same time, you don't get much more of a hyper carry than Jinx, because, hey, she gets excited.
Mm-hmm. And you don't ever want to be on the opposite end of the team getting her excited, because that means she's getting kills or assists. So we'll see how well Tails can play this one. With a Thresh, you could set up a lot. You have a potential for, let's see, it's about 4 to 5 seconds of CC because of Flay, Death Sentence, Flame Chompers, slow from the Zap as well. So if they can coordinate it that well, that Annie's going to have a really rough time and Slushie will have a really rough time. And I'm wondering what the mid is going to be from Maple Street to counteract this Orianna for Pekin Wolf.
Yeah, the Oriana pick, I feel is a little bit too safe. He did get triple target banned there, Nidalee Gragas and Kassadin all taken away towards him. So whenever a team triple bans anyone, that means that that guy basically just has to pick something he can go even on. Because with so many bans focused on one member, that means that pretty much everybody else just gets to play their comfort picks. So you've got a Vi in the jungle, you've got Shyvana top lane. Both of those are very, very, I guess, comfort picks, but you look over towards Team 8, and it doesn't really feel like they've had too much taken away from them, with the exception of the Ari pick for Maple Street. That's something that I did not exactly expect to see. Ari's kind of had her day and has fallen off a little bit, but I still think she does pretty well.
Yeah. Um, she's like another mid assassin like LeBlanc, but just so many skill shots. I guess people were like, let's go with the more on target kind of champions, and she faded away a little bit. She coming in now from Maple Street. I'm interested to see how the matchup goes. You know, you got a little bit of a shield for Pekin Wolf. You got a lot of ranged harass you can put with the ball, the dissonance for the slow and attack, a slow and movement speed, and the level 6 for Vi and Oriana is absolutely ridiculous. You just have the absolutely perfect ball delivery system, so we'll see if they can pull it off.
All right, well, we are finally into about a minute in the spectator delay, and that's probably a good chance to kind of give a little bit of an overview. If you guys are not familiar with NACL or the teams who will be going into NACL Season 2, keep in mind the first 5 teams were pre-seeded. They were Curse Academy, Determined Gaming, who is now Complexity Black. You've also got VVV, the VVV White roster, I believe. But it's kind of been conglomerated. LOL Pro, and then, of course, Cognitive Gaming. Those top 5 teams from last season will be pre-qualified into Season 2. If you're looking for the 5 other teams qualifying through this bracket who will be joining them, it's going to be LMQ, Cloud9, HyperX Tempest, the temp name team, otherwise known as Email Support. You've also got Super Team NA. You guys just watched win their matchup. So we'll be seeing Chuper and friends in NACL Season 2. And the last team is actually the teams that we're watching right now. It's either going to be Crossover Esports or Teammate. Teammate's going to have to close things out. Crossover, we'll have to bring it back. So we'll have to see which one of those teams can make that happen. But before that, we're going to head to a quick commercial break. So don't forget to check out our sponsors at Loot Crate right down below. You can click the Crate of Loot and find out all kinds of the cool stuff that you can get from there by heading over to lootcrate.com. You can also check out Phoenix Peripherals or Team Coast's Facebook page, because they also have a lot of info and a lot of cool pictures of all the stuff you can get from phoenixcollection.com if you're into some of the most high-grade, high-quality gaming peripherals out there. So make sure to check them out. Make sure to stick around, because when we come back, we'll have Crossover Esports versus Team 8 for the final seed in NACL Season 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Season 2 North American Challenger League qualifiers. I am Rapid. I'm here with the newly Challenger EGAD. He gets to play with these guys all the time. We'll see which one of these teams you guys get to watch all the time when they win this game and move into Season 2 of NACL. But we have to actually have those games played out. So in case you guys are a little bit new to the format, this is a best of 3 with 1 win already for Team 8. They are the team on the right-hand side of your screen, in the red, facing up against Crossover Esports in the blue.
I just love how Tails is just dancing. I love the Mafia Jinx skin dance. It's so funny. Pulls out the little, not jukebox, but the, I don't know what that was called. Sonophone?
Phonograph.
Phonograph.
Yeah, way back in the day. We actually used to have one of those when I was growing up, and I was like, that seems old even when it was, even when I was not very old. But apparently Jinx is pretty retro there. She's even got a little case that it goes in for the horn. Crescendo walking up top lane. She's going to walk into the California Trolls bush. I don't know. Just waiting things out just yet. Yeah, she's going to play it safe. Guard the entrance to her blue buff.
All right, and it looks like just a 5-point spread out. Nobody wants to go for an invade. First blood, not really that worth it anymore. It's just more about the summoners. Peking Wolf, gonna get tagged out there with a nice little orb from Maple Street. And the ward gets dropped out early as it looks like Guess 8 is gonna go for a red start on Lee Sin. And he's gonna possibly solo it? Yeah, he definitely needs help. There's no way.
He pinged for assistance too. He's like, guys,
Team?
I mean...
Hello?
California Trolls walks literally the longest way possible to try to help him out there. He goes for the smite first, just to get some extra damage down there, and should actually let California Trolls tank it, but he's just walked up, culled the Meek, and walked away. So, not sure if that was quite the help Guess was looking for.
I guess. It was some damage, right? There's a stun down bot right now on the Tails. He gets ignited. There's a nice laser to come through from Slushy. Gets the passive there. And a ton of damage drops Tails. About to 100 HP. Forces out his potion already. He still has all of his summoners, though. So with no ignite, Dodo kind of loses a little bit of kill potential unless they can flash burst him before even barriers. And there's some damage coming from Incinerate auto attacks. And Tails is going to have a rough time now in this lane.
Yeah, you definitely do have to play it very, very carefully. Dodo did go for the very standard Annie build. It's very defensive. You max your Incinerate in base, and you come out with a stun in lane. A lot of times, and I've actually seen this more often than not, you'll actually see Annie start with Doran's Ring, and then go for the Q first for the early damage.
I hate that. I hate that build.
It's so cheesy, though.
I hate it. I've run into so many Annies that do that, and I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna pick Thresh, and you're gonna have a rough time, and they just get blown up, and it's like, you harass me all you want, I just trade with you so hard, but it's okay. You ran Thor and Shield, and Dodo, I love you.
Yeah, it works primarily against like Leonas that pick Leona to counter Annie. Well, it turns out when you lose all your health level 1, it's really rough. Peck and Wolf in the mid lane, flashing out one more auto attack.
Wow.
It's Maple Street's Ari that picks up first blood.
That was a nice auto attack to come in too, and a nice war jump to come in from Guess 8 to follow that up, slows him down, and that's a nice first blood from Maple Street. This time, gonna have a little bit better of a landing phase now that he's got that first blood.
And with that first blood already in the bank, it's going to be a trip back to base for Maple Street, who should just buy a second Doran's Ring and come back to lane, because that's what he's going up against. But no, goes for the very early Fiendish Codex. So he's looking for a very fast Deathfire Grasp.
Or maybe Morellonomicon, you never know, or Athenes. But like you said, DFG is most likely the optimal build to go here for him. And you saw a nice little initiation onto Slushy there. They did not flame into the traps, but he escaped perfectly fine with that pursuit. And up top, still, just the farm fest known as Shyvana and Renekton lanes that we love to see so much.
Yeah, I tell you, man, I wake up in a cold sweat at night, just so afraid that we have to cast more Dr. Mundo, Renekton, Shyvana top lanes, and what do you know? It looks like the dream is alive and well. We get to check out California Lulz and Crescendo. Traditionally, I guess you would see a lane sort of advantage for Shyvana just because she, nothing really trades well with Shyvana. She has like so much potential, trade potential when you think about her little Sunfire cape eventually. Ooh, a pull in there. The Death Sentence as well, right in there on a Dodo. One more auto attack. Tails picks up a kill, counter the one that Maple Street already has.
That was a brilliant play by UC. He held on to his Vault Breaker until Dodo flashed, then predicted where he was going to go and put it right on into him. And Ignite was dropped too by Gonti just in case Tails couldn't pick up the kill. Ooh, Flame Choppers come in, but a nice Relentless Pursuit before they could set. And he just goes right on over them. And with that, we're going to see Guess 8 try to hold the turret and soak up some XP. Possibly a gank in mid lane, as for Maple Street's going to get knocked up there by the Vault Breaker. Can they pick up the kill? Command attack comes in, Dissonance, and then the excessive force to pick up the kill for UC. Ooh, Dissonance goes on a Sushi? Oh, they're not going to attack.
Uh-oh. No, Guess 8's coming in there. Flash out from Tails. Guess gonna flash in turn. Does get the cripple down there. The flash in from Slushy. He's gonna get the kill. And now follow up onto Gonti. A ton of minion damage onto Guess. He's gonna have to play this one very, very carefully. But the flash of the Sonic Wave means that Guess will get out alive.
Something funny that I would have done was let that Q hit me and then just flash in the turret when he followed up with the
and then like Death Sentence behind you. And, like,
or just play him. Either one and he's just dead. But that was well played by Guess 8 there.
It really was. He almost died to minions, though. I feel like if Thresh could like turn around, flay auto, it might have died, but it was close. No deaths, though, in that bottom lane, other than, of course, Tails.
And with that, Gonti has no flash, and Tails has no summoners, so Dodo 8 could look to make a play very soon to try to catch them off guard with some of the damage that he does, because he does have 26 AP, so a heavy amount of damage could come in.
Yeah, and speaking of AP, Dodo 8 actually has 31 ability power, so heavily speccing into that in runes and masteries. But Dodo and Slushy both blew their flashes for that, so their flashes will be down. Of course, Tails and Gonti, their champions are down, and of course their summoners down as well. Wolf is the first to hit level 6 after, second after Yasui, and then there's Crescendo hitting that, and still waiting for that from anyone, from everyone on Team 8, with the exception of California Laws, who hit that just a few minutes ago.
I'm wondering when the next dragon is going to be, not the next dragon, but the first dragon of the game. When is that going to be a big objective for either of these teams? Because right now it's 2-2 in kills. It's only 100 gold difference, barely.
Well, Dan, the first dragon of the game happened in Champion Select, so...
Oh, Shyvana. I see. Well, she hasn't used her ulti yet, so she's not really a dragon.
Well, that's actually pretty true. So waiting for that to happen, I guess you could have just been referring to what... Oh, there's actually Dodo 8, no flash needed there. He was pretty dead from the moment Jinx laid eyes on him, and there you go, a kill on to Tails.
And Pekin Wolf picked up a kill there with a nice war jump into a Hikyu by Guess 8 there in the mid lane, and they trade 1-for-1 across the map. This game is much, much more even than last game. Last game was kind of just a huge snowball in favor of Team 8.
I mean, when you look at the way the game started, Crossover actually took the first 2 turrets, so there is an extent to which global objectives will turn the game around for you. But yeah, this time around, bottom lane, mid lane especially, both going very, very well. Bottom turret looks like it actually could fall with Annie lagging a little bit further behind.
Yep, and if they get that Excite passive from Tails, they could look to drop the Flame Choppers and try to dive them with the flashes still down from the side of Slushy and Dodo. So we'll see what they want to do. Tails also has a Super Mega Death Rocket now available to him if they want to try to get some initial burst damage off. We'll see what they want to do. Pekin Wolf just landing in mid, dropping some wards, keeping himself safe, while Crescendo and California Trolls still just that lonely island up there. So while we see just a little bit of trading back up top, we do see everybody rotating and starting to get some wards down aggressively on the side of Team H jungle. We're going to see a blue buff get thrown on over to from Maple Street as his ultimate is almost back up, and Crescendo going to be able to back out there.
I was attempting to tell Prius to stop laughing at me for forgetting to unmute my mic, but I actually just told him to. My attempt at STFU was mangled like 4 times in a row, so I'm just gonna let him laugh at me all he wants. Hopefully we can keep that in check and these junglers in check. Both of them been involved in 100% of their team's kills, so jungling going pretty well for Guess and Yasui. Much better than in game 1, where that was actually the more one-sided aspect of it.
Alright, and with that, blue buff's thrown over, red buff on to Yasui, and what are they going to try to do? Are they going to do the ball delivery system with Yasui and try to take out from Maple Street? Are they going to rotate and force pressure on Dragon, try to get the 5v5 and have Crescendo come back on his next back? Also, both these top laners going heavy damage. We see the Biljora Cutlass and the Tiamat for California and Crescendo.
Yeah, so there's a lot of offense right now. I think the only defensive items that have been built so far are, of course, the Doran shields to start, and then the Kindle gem. Everything else is offensive for Team 8. So these guys are looking to do a lot of damage, whereas if you look over at Crossover, they're a little bit more defensive spec. They do have those same two Doran's shields, but they have double Doran's rings and a pretty defensive build there for Peckinwolf in the mid lane, but all offense otherwise across the board.
Interestingly enough, they just trade up top. Go their separate ways, and Guessite is in bot lane right now, so could look to rotate towards that dragon and secure some pressure on that.
He's 3 for 3 for ganks so far, but with the gank looking to go in there on mid lane, ooh, Yasui doesn't want to jump on a Maple Street, because Ara can always dash back underneath your turret, charm you out, and you're just like, oh, really wish I wasn't here right now, but Guess actually going to go for the dragon gank. Looks like he could take it down. Yasui not going to go for the steal.
Oh, a nice smite there to prevent Yasui even from attempting that one. Tails and Gonti come back to bot lane as they will just go back to a nice little even lane. Still no turrets following in 11 minutes. Last game there was like 2 turrets down in 10 minutes. So a much slower pace for this round. And California and Crescendo just going back at it with the golems, and the war is won by California as he does net the 59 gold from the big golem.
I was going to say, that was like there were 3 teams involved there. It's actually a 3-player game. It's both teams and then the jungle creeps. Jungle creeps were kind of winning that trade as both top laners were busy fighting themselves, and then they realized who the true enemy were, egad. That was the double golems themselves. So there's the first dragon in the top lane as Crescendo going in onto California Trolls. It knights down between both top laners. Full rage stacks there for California Trolls. Both
the sun's almost up.
at the same time. He's going to turn around for the sun. He can't get it. Yasui! No! Over the wall. Oh my gosh.
That was so close. The party pooper in Yasui. But now, in the mid lane from Maple Street misses out the charm there. Peekable chunks him for that one, and that's going to be the first gank up top, going over to Crescendo.
Oh my god.
That was really close. Oh, man.
And that's why that's the reason top lane is so dumb, because you can't even 1v1 the other guy, because then it's just a battle of who comes up with their jungler first. Nice Dragon's Rage kick up in the top lane from Guess. It's just like, look, you guys aren't going to take this turret. Double kick, and then walks back.
Actually hit both of them, yeah.
Yeah. Always nice. Most people think, Lee Sin just goes in there, does a bunch of damage, kicks somebody away, but it's actually a little bit of added skill to be able to kick somebody into the rest of their team. So
yeah.
A little bit of extra practice for Guess.
It's really fun. Looks cool too. Stylish. And safe ball. It looks like an initiation from Dodo. Gonna drop the tippers on Tails Force. His flash out. The flash from Gonti though in response. Gonna drop the box. The Chompers did not connect. Gonti's laying in some auto attack damage, but Tibbers is just outweighing them with his Sunfire passive and just melting them, as that's all the summoners down now for bot lane except for the Ignite and Gonti. So Dodo could look for another stun. Potentially Sushi could follow up with the culling, which he saved from that last fight.
And it's not just any Tibbers, Dan. It's Franken Tibbers. So that guy's a monster down there. Yasui coming back in. Tibbers is like, no, dog, you ain't getting in this lane. He's like body blocking in there, man. Look at that guy. I'm not sure if he's like a zombie bear, if he's actually. Oh my! The massacre. Rest in peace, Franken Tibbers 2014.
50 gold, man. You gotta have it.
Soul behind too. Look at that. There's a soul of Tibbers on the ground.
Uh-oh. Looks like Yasui's gonna come down to counter gank Guess8, but they do not commit fully. Traps do not connect. Neither does the hook, so they end that fight right there. And I wonder what Franken Tibbers would sound like. Like, just like, grrr.
Crescendo up in the top low. Mid lane's where there's the flash. Last auto attack on a Maple Street. Will the Ignite tick be just barely enough? Killing off both Maple Street simultaneously along with my voice.
And it's okay.
That's when you know it's time for some pure honey from Colorado's western slope. But Peckinwolf might need a little bit of that himself. Gets ganked by Guess8. And Yasui's just going to knock him up right in there. Flash out to avoid the ball damage. Safeguard through, but look at that damage from Yasui going full offense jungle Vi.
Yeah, the only defensive item is this Ninja Tabby. So it looks like he's going for a Brutalizer next. So he gets the full amount of damage he can possibly out of the build, and maybe a Trinity Force as his third item, or his quote-unquote second full item. Now Dodo 8 gonna walk in, get hooked out there by Gonti. A ton of damage comes in. Can he get the 2-man stun? It looks like no. Gonti's gonna pick up that kill, and that poor Annie skipped into the wrong neighborhood.
Seeing Crescendo trade versus California Trolls up top, but it's going to be the first turret falling in the bottom lane. I always like to start with top lane because I can always like segue off of that by saying that nothing's happening there. Should actually see a little bit more action down or up in the mid lane now, as with the bottom turret falling, there's a little bit more pressure on mid, and then you can use that pressure to turn into a dragon. So top laner is going to be a little bit lonely for a little bit longer, just because there's so much action across the map, trading things out and just CSing away.
As top lane should be.
Directed camera is like, it's trying to find the most exciting thing on the map, and it's just like, man, a top lane. We're headed up there.
I think it goes off who's doing the most damage at the time. I feel like that's what it does.
Trading forever. Okay, second time in a row, Yasui. Nice trinket ward over the wall. You can see California trolls. He's not going to get trolled by that either. Actually throws down Dominus. If you're going to Dominus, you probably had better defend your turret, but in the 1v2, especially against the full damage buy with red buff, don't want to go in for that.
From Bushby gets caught up by the hook there, forced the flash, hits the charm, drops the DFT,
oh
and
my
Gaunty might be regretting this one. The kick hits both of them as well. They're looking to try to go on to Peking Wolf right now. Ooh, command shock and distance, and then the shockwave comes in, and that will be the kill with the Peking Wolf, making that a 1-for-1, trading Gaunty from Maple Street. So worth for Wolf, as they might ping out to the turret here, but there is an Annie and a Lee Sin waiting on the side there. Yasui, where are you going with that Vault Breaker? Where are you going? He cancels it. And may look to follow this one up. The ball is delivered, and they're going to drop it down to the Slushie now. Where's the Dragons? Descending, gets stunned up by the Tibbers, and they will turn around. A Crescendo to get a ton of damage. Ignite is dropped on top of that one. Yusui's in the middle of 3 members. Going to get blown up here. The shutdown goes over to Slushie in that whole fight. It looked like a perfect fight for the side of Crossover, but Teammate turned that one around phenomenally.
I don't know how much better you can start off a fight, but when you blow everything up front, you kind of got to save some stuff for a little bit later on. And now, looking for the second dragon in a row here for Team 8. California Law's coming down from that top lane. Lost his turret, but is going to pick up a dragon in return.
Yeah, doesn't matter. He gets the extra. He actually gets the last hit, too, so a little extra bit of gold on top of that. So doesn't care that his turret's gone. He's going to go back, have a huge wave shoved into him, and he already has a CS lead. So with that wave, it's going to put him a little bit further ahead. As we look at the items, is he going to have Hydra when he comes back? Does not look like it, so he's waiting for the gold, maybe. But Slushie and Dodo now pushing in. We do see Gaunty getting caught out there by from Maple Street. Dodges away from the hook, dodges away from the dissonance, and will just not continue to go any further as he does not want to risk his life.
Oh, man. All right, so game's starting to heat up. We've seen 17 and a half minutes with just over 13 kills. And I say just over because we're going to see some stuff start to happen, especially down there in the bottom lane. 4 members of Crossover heading down there. Why Yasui and Pekin Wolf back off? Yeah,
very smart play. They're not going to push the turret any harder. They do not want to get ganked. They do not want to throw the little advantage that Slushie does have at this point with the dragons. His Bloodthirster, the 2 kills. So, very smart play, playing it defensive. Dodo having a little bit of a rough time. He's 0-3 currently. He's got a Sightstone. He now has the medallion. He's looking to net himself some extra gold on those minion kills. And we'll see if they want to go as the pinks come in. They might try to gank from Maple Street from behind right now. Crescendo's going to come in here. Is he going to be able to do it? There is no Spirit Rush available from Maple Street. He's going to get shocked in dissonance. The Blade of the Rune King and Pekin Wolf going to pick up the kills there. Now, Guess 8 on the wrong side of the wall. Does not have Flash. The Dragon's instead is going to follow over. He kicks him away. Where is he going to go right now? Does he have any more wards? He has a pink ward. Can he juke away with it? He's going to go in, safeguarding to the minions, safeguarding to the ward in the lane, actually. Flash command dissonance with the flash from Crescendo. Wow. Going to pick up that kill with the bite. And it took a lot to actually capture that Lee Sin.
How many summoners do you have to blow to kill one Lee Sin? And the answer is, of course, all of them. You can see Pekin Wolf didn't actually burn Ignite, though. So there's only 3 summoners to kill him. So 5 minutes on all those cooldowns. And California, up top lane versus Tails, does lose out on those trades, but should be getting some help a little bit later on as Gaunty and Crescendo both come in top lane for California.
He forces out the Dominus right there. Actually hits the Super Mega Death Rocket as well. The hook, gonna connect on the minions. He pulls himself in. Trolls is trying to turn around this one, trying to do whatever damage he can to Tails. He's gonna follow him down. He's gonna get kited out by Pow Pow. But Tails will be able to secure that 1v1. And some nice crits coming in there too. So a little bit of an overextend there from California.
Yeah, as a top laner, when you're split pushing, you always have to make sure that the rest of your team is putting pressure on the rest of the map. Otherwise, they're just going to rotate top lane 4-man ganky like you just saw right there. So not quite what California Trolls was expecting. Crescendo comes into mid. Maple Street just showing him that he loves him. And with Valentine's Day coming up, it's very appropriate that Maple Street be playing RA, just spreading the love.
Well, the Heartseeker Ash, I'm ready for that skin. That
Oh
skin's
my
gonna be
goodness.
awesome.
I'm so ready. We can get some Heartseeker Ash and Debonair Jace and just like the game just like explodes. It's
And
too
Heartseeker
much
Vayne.
love. Oh my goodness. There's too many. There's all the hearts out there. Okay, so Vayne loves Mundo. I wonder if that means that there's going to be like a Valentine's Day Tryndamere for Ash.
I wouldn't be surprised, but we don't have a Dr. Mundo Valentine's Day skin, so that would be perfect. But
He
now
just like
we see-
throws little hearts at people.
instead of cleavers, it's just like hearts or cake or something.
Turns out that hearts hurt, man. Maybe he's like breaking hearts with that. We'll see. Maple Street's gonna face check right into Yasui Death Sentence though onto Guess 8. Oh my god. Guess blows Yasui up. Crescendo's gonna drag his rage over the wall, but actually aggro's Baron, who might take him down there, but Tails flashes over the wall to aggro Baron and take the shot that would have taken down Crescendo.
But now Pekin Wolf is alone in 4 members. He had a great shockwave, but Dodo followed up with a perfect Tibbers on 3 members, and that fight just went so well for the side of Team 8 there. That was perfect coordination and perfect synergy, and Crescendo and Tails, the only 2 to survive that fight. Tails was nowhere near them at that point, and couldn't follow up besides just throwing in the rocket, which helped them secure the kill, and Slushy at least.
Holy cow, so that was a crazy fight. Team 8 are down in kills, they're down in turrets, and Crossover Esports, man, they know that this is their last chance to qualify. Look at the damage from California. One shots Tails, or one combos Tails, and not a whole lot you can do with an 80 carry versus a full health Renekton.
And Ravenous Hydra and Dominus, that's ridiculous, and Jinx with a low mobility as is cannot escape that, so good job by California to make that fight a 4-for-1 overall.
And that's a consistent theme for Crossover Esports. In the previous team fight, they just didn't peel for Peckinwolf at all. He was by himself. Everybody else was like flashing over Baron walls. They were running away. And then right there, you just saw Tails get no help from the rest of his team way off the side. Could not find a teammate to help protect him. So the carries just need a little bit of extra peel because with all that early strength and early aggression, I mean, Team 8 are going to start winning back these fights. First or second turret, rather, going to fall in the bottom lane. Slushy's minions take it down.
Alright, so those minions going to put a big wave, but Tails is going to answer. We need some counter warding from Dodo right now, as he's going to do his little thing with that Annie. And it looks like they might be trying to siege up this mid-tier 1 turret, as that is the final outer that they need to get some more map pressure in here. Crescendo going to come in the side, but decides not to do anything. Charm connects, a ton of damage goes on top of that one, as the Charm... The passive was changed, so it does an extra, is it 20%? Magic damage when it connects? Yes. Extra 20% magic damage when that charm does connect. So on top of the DFG, that's just a huge amount of damage that stacks up for AP at least.
I just realized it's crescendo. Like if you're crescendo. I feel like that's Japanese, but
Maybe.
I've been practicing my Japanese, Dan, but it's not quite there just yet. We're gonna see the aggro of the dragon taking down about half hit points Yasui, so he's coming in for the team fight. Will they finish this off? Immediate charm there on a Crescendo, taking him down. There's a death by Grass as well. Maple Street blows him up before the fight even starts. 2-man shockwave is gonna hit. Tails gets excited there in the back. Gaunty with the killing spree on to Maple Street. Now the culling turning back around, taking out Yasui. Dodo and Slushy coming back into the fight, but Tails so strong.
Did you get it? Yes! The command attack and distance. Now Tails gonna look to chase down the rest of these kills. Oh, the zap does not connect. He's gonna turn the corner. Dodo, do you have a stun right now? It looks like no, he does not. And Slushy's gonna get taken out by Tails there. The zap connects. Gonna go into Fishbones. No, decides not to, but Pekin Wolf comes in from the flank. And Andy had nowhere to go, so gets taken out. And that's gonna be the ace over to Crossover Esports with a really interesting team fight there. That looked like it was Team 8's. They had a beautiful Timber Stun on 2, but a Super Mega Death Rocker from the side from Tails finished off Guess 8, gave him the speed to catch up California, as well as from Maple Street, so that was really close.
Now, you and I as casters have the omnipotence to see that Pekin, Wolf, and Tails were splitting right there to sort of corral Slushy and Dodo. They didn't know that, so they might have thought, hey, we can turn around, pick off Pekin Wolf, but no stun from Dodo meant that if they had just kept walking top lane, they might have been able to ward the Tri-Brush and then pick off Pekin Wolf once Dodo had time to charge that stun, but as his stun came out just a little bit late, and that's 2 kills and the ace for Crossover.
That puts Crossover in a really good spot. They have a nice 5,000 gold lead. And Crescendo's still just farming up top and pushing and trading actually better against California right now with that Blade of the Rune King and almost the Sunfire. So that burnout damage is doing more than a Sunfire kit, which is phenomenal. Oh my god, over the wall comes from Maple Street, and they're just going to take out Crescendo. Crescendo, I don't know how we're going to pronounce it. I'm just keep calling him Crescendo. But a nice charm, a nice kick, and actually, Guess 8 picked up the kill.
Yeah, I'm really glad there's a Thresh support this game, because if there was a Sona support, there'd be way too many Crescendos for just one game. But as is, we're going to keep those Crescendos up in the top lane, which is probably never a sentence I'll say again. Unless Crossover make it in, and I'll be saying it every week.
Every week. Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting. So fingers crossed that we may get that. We do see Guess 8 just doing some wolves. I'm surprised there's not too many wards around Baron from either side, so they're not too worried just yet. Dragon's going to be coming up in a few minutes, so that's not a big goal for anybody, but that tier 1 turret of the mid lane is in the eyes of Team 8 for such a long time. They've been trying to push that one.
Have not been able to take it down, still 2-4 in turrets, and starting to be about a 4,000 gold lead here for Crossover eSports. When you look at where that gold is piled, it's right on the carries. And the thing that actually won Crossover that last team fight was that the last surviving members of Crossover were the carries. Tails and Peckinwolf stayed alive while the rest of their tank line and the support from Gaunty did die first, and that just left the carries open to deal as much damage as they needed to. Picked up the ace, and as long as they can keep doing that, keep protecting these the carries, Crossover is just going to walk straight through to a victory. But Team 8 has all game long been doing a great job picking off their carry lineup, so it's really going to be back up to Maple Street and Slushy to stay alive as long as Tails and Peckinwolf do.
Zinya's now is going to help from Maple Street a lot with that one. While Trolls is going to initiate it on here. Dominus and the Dragon's Descent go in. California Trolls is getting chunked out, but here comes Guess 8. Is he going to kick him away? The hook is going to connect through the slice and dice. Shockwave and Dissonance come through. Guess 8's in a horrible position, but he does actually ward jump his way out with a flash. And that is going to be a call for Baron from the side of Crossover eSports, or Crossover, as they want to try to do this one, but the jungle is still up. Guess 8 could try to ward jump steal, if anything, or Sonic Wave Resonating Strike, but Tails is on the opposite end of the map right now. From him, she flashes on the wall, gets to the charm, blows up Tails before he can even enter the fight, and that is going to be a call to disengage from Baron now, as Dodo pops the Talisman, gonna look for the flash done, gets the Timbers on Peckinwolf, but he pulls the Lantern right on out. They choose to go for Crescendo next. Oh, the hook and the command attack and Dissonance just blew up Dodo. Now the assault and battery on the solution. The flash forward from Gaunty, but gets kicked away. The calling is Papa Zone them away into a ton of damage as a blue buff. Is he gonna get taken here? Charm connects from Maple Street. Can he get it? No. Smite from Yusei grabs that one away, and that is a 1-for-1 overall.
But Yusui just used Smite on a blue buff, so that means that if Team 8 just turned around and did Baron right there, I'm pretty sure they're down to get it. Like, there's no team to stop them. There's no Smite, and it would have been a risky call no matter what. But at the same time, no jungle Smite means that you by default have that advantage.
All right, so 2 minutes in the Dragon Spotter, and that's a bad indication for California if you cannot outduel Crescendo right now. So they're gonna need to have to respond to that in some way, because if he is not 1v1ing their top laner, I don't know what's gonna happen, because Crescendo can now run through their whole team with his builds, because he's got the Sunfire complete, he's got the Megatron building towards either a Visage or Banshee's Veil, so, or GA maybe, that's possible too.
Possible, but is it likely? We'll see. Maple Street, I gotta give some props to this guy. Most kills on his team, almost most kills in the game, but Peckinwolf with a nice little juke there, taking out Dodo at the end of that last fight. That was pretty slick. But around. Oh my goodness, California Law is gonna be the guy getting
nice hook.
He's gonna pop Dominus immediately, no questions asked, trying to run away from this. There's a little bit of a shield there from the Lantern on Crescendo, but nobody actually dying. Ult down for California, though.
That's a good sign for them to push. Oh, the Zap did connect. The Charm connects to the Crescendo, though. He gets the Command Protect. They're looking to lead this one off. The Zap connects again.
Oh, my
Death Sentence on from Maple Street. California is getting poked out so hard, and with Dominus being down for a little while, that's a good indication for the side of Crossover to fight.
Man, those hooks from Gaunty are so scary. One hook, and to be honest, mid lane is sort of like the rubber band lane. It's like one team runs all the way down mid lane, dies, and the other team runs all the way down mid lane again. But you can see Crossover, they're not actually going for very many just like straight up team fights. They're always trying to like flank teammate or bait them into a brush, or now in this case, bait them into Baron.
I don't think they're gonna bite it though. It looks like they're gonna have Dodo come over, drop a ward, but is he gonna get hooked though? Gaunt's been on point so far. Can he do it? They do Dragon's Descent too. The wards come over. Is he gonna get it?
Down.
Oh, they actually do steal it away. Teammate gets it. The box
Oh
comes
my.
through. Yusei gets kicked. Tails is so low, getting chased out by from Maple Street. Crescendo's gonna die over the wall to the ignite. Yes, he will. California gets that one. The culling is gonna come through. Solution needs one more auto. Can he get it on Yusei? Vaultbreaker comes through. There's no Sonic Wave to connect. And with that Dragon Steel, they're gonna push down mid, and this should be a sign for an inhibitor for the side of Team 8 as Crossover, a little bit of miscommunication there. They used the Dragon's Descent to not stop them from on the other side of the wall.
While they may have stolen the life from the dragon, they actually stole the Baron buff. And now with that buff, and Frank and Tibber is going to take one for the team and tank up that turret.
Oh, the
charm
charm.
lands on the Peckinwolf Maple Street. Talked about having the most kills in the game. Well, now he's tied with Peckinwolf as he takes him down.
That was a really good charm. For Maple Street's been on point with his charms to counteract the hooks from Gonti. And now with that inhibitor down, they're going to maybe rotate towards Dragon or the bot tier 2. I think California can tank that one up for the duration. But go for the save for objective in that Dragon, steal away a red buff, and look really good for this point in the game.
And now off of that, now we're going to see a dragon. Will we see the dragon stolen, though? Probably not. Goes down almost instantly, and that... It wouldn't be a good game without a throw at Baron, Dan.
Would not be a good game, you know? I just, man, is there a sign saying, hey guys, free candy if you take the Baron? And they're just like, yeah, I love candy. You guys want to go get some candy? Yeah. And then just...
You got the Baron is made of candy. Like,
oh my god, is it pinata?
Exactly. It's a giant Baron pinata, and that's why you see purple buffs. Like, that's the candy buff. When I think it was Ryu, when Ryu was playing in OGN, his team trolled him super hard because he was really hungry, and there was a player in the audience, or there was a person in the audience right in front of him eating chicken, and they all said that Ryu had the chicken buff because he totally wanted some of that delicious chicken. I could go with some chicken right now. Actually, have a half pint of Girl Scout Samoa ice cream waiting for myself after this game. So I have the ice cream buff, but I'm just saying. Buffs are buffs, and both the Dragon and the Baron buffs going over the Team 8.
All right, and where are they going to push? It looks like they're going to go towards the bot lane here. They have a wave slow pushing up top, so that's going to be a huge wave to come into that turret. No one's going to be able to respond because they're going to be too busy defending the tier 2 in the bot lane. While items get bought up there, we get the Lock of the Iron Solari now for Gonti, who's quite far behind in items there. We have Talisman and Mikhail's for Toto, as well as the Distortion upgrade for his Flash cooldown. So that Flash is back up already, and he's going to look for potentially a Flash Tibbers underneath this turret.
Ooh, hook connects on a Maple Street in medium Mikhail's Crucible. Perfect call there by Dodo.
That was a really good play, and now the tier 2 is going to get taken out either way. Ton of damage comes in from Maple Street, uses the last charge on that Spirit Rush. They do get the Sonic Wave Resonating Strike. Crescendo's forced to Dragons to send his way out. Guess is going to block that one. The hook does not connect. Charm a little out of range there. And the siege is going to begin now while the waves slow push and the Super Minions do a ton of damage in the mid lane.
Maple Street blew his ultimate a little bit prematurely. I mean, you can't really blame him because he did get death sentence, and if he had died, that's kind of game over, at least for that push. But doesn't have that up now for the dive through the turret. But if he lands a charm here, it's still going to kill somebody. Gonti, oh, there's the culling. California Trolls picking up the first kill, but the dive through the turret maybe a little bit too far.
They use the kick to disengage Yusei. The Super Mega Death Rocket picks up one from Maple Street's going to go back in onto Yusei, but Tails is in the back line, laying it to everybody from Maple Street. Gets dangerously low. Double kill for Tails. Can he pick up the triple? Can he clean up anything else? The turret does fall. The inhibitor is open now. This should be a free snag away for Team 8 with Tibbers and Super Minion from the mid lane actually rotating over as he is part of the team now and helping them secure that inhibitor. So the inhibitor in mid lane is going to be spawning relatively soon. And that could be their next push, while the tier 2 up top lane is actually going to most likely fall to these minions unless Crescendo can make it over.
Oh my goodness. This game is so back and forth. Now it's actually the 4,000 gold lead for Team 8, and with one win already for Team 8, all they have to do is pick up one more to get their way into Season 2 the North American Challenger League. We talked about kills, and now Maple Street has actually overtaken Peckinwolf there in the mid lane. with 8 currently the most in the game. But when you look down at Slushy, he's not having quite as good a game as Tails is. You can see that reflected in the itemization. Same items, but if you look at the gold counts, there's just a small discrepancy, about 500 to 600 gold. So even though the CS is wildly in favor of Tails, he has a ton more kills. It's the consistent dragons and that Baron that have given him enough global gold to be even.
Baron spawns in a minute and 50 seconds, so we could see them look to get a safe bunch of wards around there and then maybe try to bait it out.
No, Dan. No more Barons. I'm done with Barons. Even in LCS today, Dragons, Barons, everything just being baited into team fights that go horribly for the team that you'd think would have the advantage. So I just want laning. I want pushing down lanes. I want team fights in lanes. No more Barons, please.
Now you're starting to sound like a Diamond player. Well, actually, no. Diamond players are the same thing. But, you know, we're going to see potentially an initiation onto Crescendo here. Charm is not going to connect, so California just walks right back out. That turret, a few more autos from Maple, took it down very simply, and the siege is going to commence in this top lane as they rotate towards mid, and prove me wrong as the inhibitor respawn, like I said, and should be falling down relatively soon with a few more autos from Slushy or from Maple.
Oh my goodness, a mid turret gonna go down here. Peckinwolf has a blue buff and a full command shockwave. Oh, Gonti's gonna take the culling as well as a bunch of damage. It's gonna go out, but just not enough to take him down there. Guess goes in, and Inhibitor goes down.
And Crescendo is gonna just take his way out of there, but Gonti's gonna have to respawn the long way while Tails gets caught up by a charm. The Death Sentence, oh, never mind, not the Death Sentence. He just gets sentenced to death and gets taken out. Yusui falls, as this could be game for Team 8. Pekingwolf gets crit and forced the flash away. It looks like the GGs are coming out as the push for the Nexus comes through, and it looks like Team 8 is gonna take it out.
Team 8 taking down one, and then both Nexus turrets falling, with the Nexus taking damage now. 40-second death timers across the board. Crossover eSports will fall, and Team 8 with a 2-0 victory in the losers of the losers bracket will at long last finally decide the 5th team to come through these qualifiers into Season 2 of the North American Challenger League. So I guess I want you guys to join me in chat in welcoming Team 8 as the final qualifying team for Season 2 of the North American Challenger League.
Well, with that, all 5 teams have been gathered for the next season of NACL, which is awesome. And I know Team 8, I know Cloud9 HyperX Tempest, I know LMQ TC by Power. Who are the other 2 teams?
All right, well, we've got LMQ. They'll be joined by Cloud9 HyperX Tempest. Then you have Super Team NA featuring the likes of XDG's sub Nick Wu. You've also got Chuper and Arthlon on that team, as well as their bottom lane. While their team may need some solidifying, it should be Executioner, Ken, and Echo. So they're a pretty super team. We'll see if they can remain super. They're, of course, joined by temp name 0626, also known as the email support team. And then the final team that you just now saw qualify was, of course, Team 8. They will join the already pre-qualified, let's see if I can get these names right. We've got VVV Gaming, Curse Academy, LOL Pro, Determined Gaming, and
I don't know.
Cognitive Gaming. All right, I totally forgot Cognitive. Now Zach is the esports director of NACL is totally going to kill me for forgetting his team, but you'll be seeing all 10 of those teams competing in just about a week's time in the North American Challenger League. Don't forget, the next broadcast for NACL coming up will actually be the North American Challenger, or the North American Collegiate Championships that will be coming up next month. This will be the round of 16. We'll be doing the playoffs. Top 4 teams head over to the Riot Studios in Santa Monica for the NACC Grand Finals with $100,000 in scholarships on the line. So NACC Finals and playoffs, they're coming up next week, and then we'll start Season 2 of NACL coming up the week after that. So there's a lot on the line, a lot of great League of Legends to happen. Hopefully you guys will be here for all of that, and I do want to thank you guys for joining us here tonight. I think that's going to do it for everything that we have this evening, Dan.
Yeah, and with that, you can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/EGAD or feed, and on twitch.tv/wannabe1234. And you can find Rapid at twitter.com/rapidcasting, as well as it's rapidcasting on Twitch too, right?
Rapid Casting on Twitch, Facebook, and anywhere around the internet you see Rapid Casting, it's probably me. And if it's not, those guys are scumbags. They're stealing my
They're
name.
imposters.
Imposter Rapids. I'm not quite there yet. One day, one day. But in all seriousness, thank you guys for watching all of these NACL qualifier games. And like I said, we'll be back next week. So until that time, do want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure to follow NACL for more information on NACL and any information you want on when we're broadcasting. Head over to naclesports.com. You can also check us up on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube by following us at NACL Esports. So thank you so much. That's going to do it for our evening. So on behalf of myself, Dan, Studio Malphus, Optimus Tom, and all of us at the NACL, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.